you see flashes of memories and moments, handshakes on behalf of others, discussions about installing the Paragon's Call. He had spoken a bit about wanting to use the Paragon's Call as leverage to better his position, his political position within the city. And the glimpses that you see seem to back that up. You recall meetings with figures from across the sea, coastal townships, enabling part of the Treshi House shipment fleet to take on a few extra cargo pieces. Every now and then. Over a few years. The other thing that creeps behind all this is a deep-seated fear of the people he's been working with. You see flashes of him feeling like he is rushing to be protected, fleeing the city, coming to Bassaris, looking to the Paragon's Call for protection, for an opportunity to correct, repair. And you see him in his little, well-decorated, comfortable prison cell. And through it all, this sense that he knew that there was something behind Odahan's eyes, that he was worried that that was going to be his final resting place.
I'm going to open the hole. And I'm going to unwrap Laudna and start searching her pockets for the orb.
Oh, that detects the ring?
Ring.
Yeah.
Because right before we left, Laudna planted the ring on Odahan.
Oh my god.
That's true. The ring does have a radius, meaning it has to be within I think it was like I have to look it up, I think like 4 miles-ish or so of the ring, but it will show in that direction.
These airships take off slow.
Yeah, how far have we gone?
Yeah, so you go ahead and pull the orb out, you look at it. It's dark.
It's dark.
I'll
Pulling out some extra verbiage there.
send to
Flower everything up a lot.
Watch her breathing in it to
Tempest.
just like,
The voice of the Tempest.
having a rough day. Tell me what to do. How are you?
Miss you.
What's up?
All right.
Lost a friend.
found the assassins. Found lead. But there are questions. One of ours down. Strong ties to Whitestone. Please advise. Can you meet?
There's a brief pause before the clear voice of the Tempest returns on the other end of your spell. I appreciate your update. Tell Orym I've business in Vasselheim, but can meet shortly. Pick a tree.
Do we have a tree on board?
Oh my gosh. My hair just.
Okay. I will send a message to Jiana Hexum.
Woo! Yes!
Hey, lady. Fresh cut grass here.
Wow, that was a big waste.
Okay, Jester.
Ashton has a friend who died. We're proud that he has a friend. Can you help bring her back?
Can you help bring her back?
Quanta Costa.
That'll do.
Sweet sweet little metal boy.
Yeah.
That's a big waste.
I felt every word of that.
What you ask is extremely difficult and against the nature of fate. Maybe.
Yep, that tracks.
I'll send another message back.
I have a feeling I know what she's gonna want in return.
I already am fucking thinking it.
That statue
Sex.
back.
Creepy lady. What would it cost us? Or what would you want in return?
What would you want in return? Okay, yep.
Ashton's very motivated. And I'm eager to please.
I certainly have a few ideas. Let's discuss, perhaps, over tea. What's the rush?
Thanks for wasting our spell, bitch.
Every night that we sleep on the ship, I'm gonna cast Shared Dream.
You have a shared dream spell?
I'm trying to do it for 20 episodes, yeah.
Wait, you could really do that? I just thought you were gonna like detect thoughts on me while I was sleeping. You have a spell for it?
I made a spell for it.
This is some weird custom shit. I don't know what the fuck
So
this
fucking
is.
cool.
So just in case it ever happens.
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
On the second day of travel.
On the second day of
On the second day of travel.
You gave to me.
A familiar shadow begins to creep on the horizon above.
Oh, we've
In the
bird.
direction you're traveling from. A darkened shape. You expect it to be a rainstorm? And the crew begins to batten down and prepare for what seems to be some coming turbulence in the direction you're passing. Pushing closer, the coloration and the shape doesn't resemble that of a deep thunderstorm. Definitely a storm. But the shadow and the billowing that continues to push out in front of it tells you another massive, far more dangerous sandstorm than the one that hit Bassaris earlier
Too real.
is
Too
billowing in your space.
Too soon.
Book ending? Come on.
Yeah.
Faster than you expect. Captain Xandis is like, all right, everybody, hold on or go below deck. It's got to get real shitty. As the ship begins to get down to the point you see dust being kicked up from just the wind kind of around it. It's keeping maybe a few dozen feet above the kind of cracked and dry, arid surface beneath you, right as the dark shadow begins to hit and wash. As it does, you feel the whole ship lurch. With this wave after wave after wave of heavy wind shakes the sky ship. Xandis goes, I'm trying to hold on to this. It's getting really strange, a little intense. Appreciate your help. I think we got it. I'm pretty sure we got it. I think we got it.
Oh no.
I love Xandis.
One heavy, dark, extremely powerful gust slams the right back side of the sky ship, and one of the sails rips off
Oh, fuck.
and is lost in the storm.
that-
I don't got it! All of you hold on tightly, quickly rushing over to grab onto something in the ship and dart out of the space around you to find something, some sort of mooring there. Fresh cut grass.
Oh boy.
You are unable to find anything around you rapidly to grab onto before you are flung out into the dust storm.
Off the ship?
Wait,
Into the storm.
You don't see them anymore. Fresh cut grass.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. I
Kill someone. Freak out. Use the wheel.
oh boy. It's a lot of dice.
bludgeon.
You go careening off into the shadow of this dust storm. The wind buffeting the side of your metal before impacting hard against a piece of exposed rock in the middle of the valley.
Oh, the one desert.
I don't want rock.
There's a bunch of rocks.
Okay, okay.
You take 26 points of bludgeoning damage upon impact.
Okay. Ow. Ow.
Xandis says, I have to do it, it's the only way! Pulls the ship up.
No.
I need everybody to make a strength saving throw. A heavy pull up, and you hold on as the whole ship picks up at an extreme angle into the storm, cruising upward into the depths of the darkness. And it pushes up until it begins to lighten and lighten, and then poof, emerges from the sandstorm just above. The ship rights itself a little bit, and you take a deep breath, Ashton. And you and the crew are the only people on the ship right now.
Nebuchadnezzar breaks through the clouds, minus 4 people. More than that.
Below, you can see, kind of in the bottom of this conical trap, you see these large pincers beginning to emerge, and what looks to be this odd, almost like jagged-looking chitinous mouth begin to open up in that space. While all of you begin to kind of push up to that space, you now tumble down to the bottom of this, and the giant pincers, which now you can see at a quick glance, they look like they were just emerging. Now the rest of the creature is beginning to show this massive head. Each pincer is about 4.5 feet long, and as you get close, you can see this almost lobster-like series of jagged bone-like interior as it kind of rips open and attempts to crush around you.
I like bites. Bites cool.
That's going to be a 21 to hit.
My AC right now is 28 because of bait and switch.
Whoa.
Oh.
20.
It comes down
I rolled an 8 on
to
the
slam around you, and you pull your shield upward, and it just gets stuck on the shield, and you feel it kind of begin to rotate and try and crush.
I don't know if this will work, but I wonder if I could cast telekinesis on the shield to try to
using
pull
the
the
ring?
shield out. Yes, use the ring.
Okay. As you're holding the shield, Imogen's pulling on you, you're trying to look for any sort of point of leverage, and then you feel this like weird wave, the shimmering magical energy kind of move past you.
I got it.
Attaches to the shield, almost like this weird, watery, ethereal power, and the shield just
I grip the shield hard.
pulls outward with a heavy strength. Both of you just go tumbling back and out of the hole about a good 30 or 40 feet into the air before Imogen, you kind of gather yourself again, holding on to both Orym and the shield.
Nicely done!
Well, it has certainly been quite eventful. You all seem to be fairly on the straight and narrow, a little strange. I like it, kind of front to back. So, hey, hopefully we have a chance to do weird adventure and shit again in the future.
Thank you for getting us there and back again. Appreciate it.
And for saving our ass in the process.
Well, thank you for not getting my ship entirely blown away by ridiculous ideas and making me chase down all sorts of crazy shadows. So, appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
No worries. Well, I'm gonna go drink and sleep for 2 days. Kind of marches off back to the person, grabs the paperwork. Are we good? Do we clear?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
The
That just sounds real nice right now.
the associate, this like half elf there with the warden helmet on, kind of goes, "Yes, I suppose so." Hands it up. Good day. And goes back. Xandis heads back up onto the ship to gather the rest of the crew. But the city is yours.
Hey, Fearne,
Yes.
I've been meaning to ask you, can I get that coin back?
What coin?
The coin, I only had, I had 2 coins. Orym lost one, and you took the other one.
I didn't take anything.
Boy, how do you deal with this?
I'm gonna quietly watch from the corner.
The wheel is available to
The wheel.
feel it out, FCG.
Let it happen. Just let it happen. Maybe you forgot, but I gave you a coin to flip when you were choosing which one of our friends to let live or die.
You did give me a coin.
When you sort of played God for a second, it was the coin that helped you do it.
Where did I just don't know where I put it.
If you need help, I can cast locate object.
Yeah, give it a try.
All right, I'll cast locate object.
Okay.
And I'll just scan her up and down.
Do you have the coin on you?
Yes.
It is very plainly glowing, muddled somewhere in a tattered clump of fur upon her
Where
head.
is it? I just don't know where it is.
I'll just grab it out. Oh, here it is. You must have just misplaced it.
You know what? I didn't realize that was the one that you were talking about. So.
Oh, okay. When you take something from someone else, just curious, like, does it make you feel good? Does your heart beat faster? Is it like a...
I don't know if I feel anything. I think I just...
Are you trying to feel something?
No, I just like...
Like chasing
certain
a dragon
things.
or something?
I just like little shinies, and just carry them with
But
me.
it doesn't make your heart beat faster. It doesn't make your...
And
pulse
maybe a
rate.
little bit, because sometimes something could go wrong. So I guess I do like it.
Okay. It's the danger of something going wrong, though, that makes you...
Yeah, of course.
It edges you.
Yeah, because you just don't know. You know?
I think that's very common and normal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
I think that feeling is common and normal, yeah, but maybe chasing it all the time is not quite as common. But no judgment.
No, I
just
don't
maybe
feel it.
of you being aware of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just good for you to be aware of, that why you do things and how often you do them.
Okay. I mean, I'll think on it for sure.
Okay.
Because maybe there's something deeper. I don't know.
It sounds like there might be.
That
Do
might
you-
be a way to go.
Have you done any research yet? Do you know?
What you are asking for is an extremely rare and difficult ritual. The ability to bring someone back from the dead is a very lauded and sought-after technique. Very few can perform this miracle, and those that do are very careful and meticulous with who they do it for. Otherwise, death would be merely an inconvenience. I have an old friend in the parlor of the Collective in the Airy Spire who owes me a long unclaimed favor. Her name is Manaia Touré. She is an overseer of the city spire/treescapes and surrounding infrastructure. Her fierce sense of justice and strong connection to nature make her a trustworthy ally in my younger days. I've already reached out to her somewhat, knowing that I may be interested in calling this debt inward. Just need to notify her of your intent to claim what we discussed.
What would the nature of this favor be?
A translocation, I think.
We're still waiting. We still need your help. Is your business finished? I'm begging you. Orym is begging you.
There is a bit of a concerning pause at first, before she comes through once more. I'm sorry. I believe I'm nearly finished here. I'll see what I can do. I don't fully understand what's being asked, but I'll try. Before a door opens and you see emerging the familiar sight of Mistress Orlana Seshadri. Her long hair streaked with gray, kind of wrapped up in an elegant twisted bun, wearing what looks to be comfortable, if very, very nice and flowing, purplish evening gown-like robes that have a silver beaded accent to the front and kind of drifting off the back trail of the train. She steps forward along with the guards. I have been informed that you have come to complete my bounty.
That is right.
Show me.
Here? Now?
Yeah, do you want to do this in private or quarters somewhere? Or?
There are many people who come saying they are claiming some sort of interests of mine. I do not lead them into my private chambers without any sort of sign of proof or
On the
assurance.
ground.
Here we go.
It's not a bad idea to make it a bit of a show.
We're going to show her
And I
our
hop
hole.
down into the hole.
Well, you can just let her look in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was just gonna arch him up.
Abby jumps in and then holds up. Treshi's like, ugh. She looks over. Hello, Amand. Mistress. Hello. I'm impressed. And you all seem a bit familiar.
We saw you at a party.
Indeed. Rogue agents, mercenaries.
Truth seekers.
Thank you.
Lord Eshteross sends his regards.
This makes more sense to me now.
I remember being thrown through a window. And I remember everyone panicking.
What happened before you were thrown through the window? You saw the crate. What happened between there?
We were in, and we got caught.
You both start pushing into that space.
I'm also going to guide myself.
Okay, I'd like you both to go ahead and roll a d20, add your spell modifier. You push further. Imogen, you both kind of see this amorphous shape of a memory that's kind of drifting ahead of you. As you both step forward, fresh cut grass, you continue to push Imogen. You almost hit glass. As you pull back and look at it, you glance, and the glass almost resembles the weird speckled, somewhat cloudy crystal that fills the open wound in the side of his head. Fresh cut grass, as you push beyond that, in the moment not noticing the separation between you and Imogen, you hear the voices of other people screaming, "Go, go, go! Run! It's over. He's dead. Leave him!" And you see bits of the road. You see alleys and hear the dragging against dirt. You hear the echo of Milo's voice, familiar, saying, "Come on, come on, come on, come on." The fog and cloud takes over and you pull back and there is light, bright light, hurting your eyes. You try and focus and it's an overhead directed hooded lantern of some kind. This is familiar. This is the top of Milo's table. Your eyes begin to go to blackness again and you hear Milo going, "No, no, no, What's this?" Reaches and pulls something from the limp grasp of Ashton's hand as it drops out of frame. Your hand. And that same vial, that same gray vial, pulls the top off and just pours it into the wound as well. The steam in the glass begins to turn from a bright white steam to a dark gray, weird, tar-like amalgam that seems to turn to a floating, gravityless liquid before the steam evaporates. And Milo looks entranced to the right of your vision as the fading darkness begins to reverse. You watch as the clear crystal-like kind of speckled appearance begins to fill with this dull gray coloration, obscuring fresh-cut grass on the opposite side. But there you kind of glance into it and you see stars.
Like, how far do they go? Does it look like I'm looking out into space suddenly?
It looks like you're staring into the night sky, and as you kind of peer and focus, you push through the glass and feel like you're just kind of lost in an expanse of infinity. You see nebulas, and purple and green clouds swirling. You look down and you see Ashton just lying there, motionless. There's a shake and a shift of color, and you see Ashton standing laughing. You see Ashton fully armored, clutching what looks like the bloody body of someone as he crushes them in their hand and throws them apart. You see Ashton destitute on the side of the street. You see them starving and asking for help. You see Ashton on a ship in the distance, pushing beyond a fog bank to unforeseen shores. You see Ashton wearing robes and some sort of a Senate seat, speaking to the public. You see so many different Ashtons, different, all held by a singular thread, but none of them the one you know. That's when your nose begins to bleed, and bleed a lot.
I'll go back to the way we came and see if Imogen is there.
Okay. You go and walk towards the direction you came from, and you hit the wall of glass.
Oh no, we're like trapped in his fucking brain.
Welcome to see elsewhere, brother.
I'll try to push through it.
Fucking weird.
Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
That's a 2 + 3.
Oh no!
You try and push the glass and it's not budging. And you turn and look around where you came from, and you're surrounded by glass, a funhouse mirror of fractured glass.
I'm also gonna cast command on Ashton
Oh well,
if
shit.
I can.
You do that.
You needed to see the target of command.
Okay. Can I cast it on myself?
You are indeed an Ashton-based target.
Whoa, some brain bumps.
So you cast command on yourself. What do you command?
Awake.
All right. Ashton, I will ask you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, if you don't mind.
This is highest stat.
Yeah.
15.
What's your spell DC?
14.
14.
I see. I'm too strong for myself.
Can I go look at Ashton's head and see if I can see anything that's happening?
Make a perception or investigation check.
He seems to be into
14.
it.
14. You glance at his head and you see the eyes are focused but at 1,000-yard stare, meaning they are driven, but they're not focusing on anything in particular. You kind of look towards the pupils and they are dilated. You glance past the crystal structure in the side of his head, and as you look in, you can see gentle sparks, just kind of like the tiniest fireworks, just going off.
Which is normal.
Which is normal. And you swear you can see two small, shadowy shapes.
Shut the fuck!
Little teeny tiny
What?
Weird snow globe.
What? Are you
This is
talking
so
about?
fucking weird.
This is weird.
One more command. Wake up!
Make another wisdom saving throw.
9.
9.
That's good.
That's great. 16 is the wisdom saving throw.
All the glass around you shatters at once. You are surrounded by thousands, tens of thousands of broken pieces of glass, crystal, and odd, strange, dark shapes. Both of you are pulled away from each other, your arms reaching out as you both vanish into opposite darkness.
Uh-oh.
And at once, you're back in yourselves. Ashton, you begin coughing profusely and catching the blood from your face.
I'm awake too.
Breathe.
You are all back in your
Oh,
bodies.
okay.
Can I rewind to last night and use one of my sending spells?
Sure. What do you want to do?
I want to cast a sending spell on fucking Delilah Briarwood.
Ooh.
There we go. Okay. What do you say?
Cross that bitch.
How do I bring her back? Tell me what to do. I'll do anything.
The voice responds, fainter, thin, fading. Whatever it takes. It won't be long now. I'm fading. And I'll take her with me.
Oh.
Someone eventually leads you to looks to be a female gnome. Visually, maybe in what would be the human equivalent of her 40s, but who knows how long that is based on your experience with gnomes and their lifespans. She turns around, looks at you. You can see a massive wreath of dark hair that nearly touches the ground behind her as she walks. It's woven with all manner of colorful beads and topaz gems. And you see what looks to be like a work vest, almost, that has been decorated and adorned with all sorts of strange bits of twisted wire and gems that kind of dangle and clatter and swing as she turns around and notices your approach. She kind of glances up at the lot of you. Hello, and can I help you?
Good morning. We've never met, but we have a friend in common, Lord Eshteross.
Ah, yes. I remember him speaking that you were to be collecting on a favor, yes?
We're hoping so. We understand that you could help us with travel.
Yes, that was one of the options that was discussed. Do you know where you're going?
I assume Vasselheim? Should I send a message?
I think we want to know for sure.
Give us a second.
I'm gonna
I'd
give
I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, if you
Wisdom
don't mind.
saving throw.
Correct.
That's good. 21.
21, okay.
send a little message on to the Tempest.
Okay.
Are you in Vasselheim still? Because you're about to have some company.
Okay. So the full message?
That's it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see where you are and met with some interference.
Oh.
Where are you?
Oh, shit.
I'll send another message. We're in the collective of Bodon, am I getting that right?
Very spot.
In Drusar.
In Marquette.
In Marquette. How much do you know?
Okay. It's been a little while. Got it. That's all.
Is she gonna come to us or are we
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
to her?
I can't. She's not answering any better than I'm sending.
God, she sounds so dumb.
Druids, man.
And kind of at this point, you see Manaia is kind of glancing about a little impatiently, like, well, if you do not know where you're going, you can come back later. Otherwise,
She said she wasn't in Vasselheim?
can possibly...
She wasn't there.
We're having a bit of a discussion.
This bright green light suddenly emits from the left-hand side. One of these thicker tree trunks. You watch as a singular opening, like an oval gateway, begins to tear through the bark. You hear the sound of the tree kind of creaking as it pushes apart and open. And there, immediately what greets you stepping through, this collection of extended antlers that bow down and open up as you see the flowing of long red hair that drifts past shoulders almost to the mid-back. You see a light orange dress that fades to a dark red burgundy to match what looks to be a mantle of thousands and thousands of autumn leaves that themselves drag across the ground behind as she steps through. A half-elven woman looking a bit frazzled, but smiling.
Orym steps forward. Hail to the Tempest. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry to pull you away from what I'm sure is important, but we didn't know what else to do. Our friend fell, and she's special. She's someone that you crossed paths with once in Whitestone. He looks over his shoulder at the group. Show her.
All right.
Right here in front of.
Shania Twain.
Hear nothing. Gently lay her on the ground, and I just start to open. God.
As you start to hold and choose. Well, hi, I'm Keyleth.
Oh, hi, yeah, hi.
We've had a weird couple days. Sorry.
I can see it on your faces, and I've been there.
Thank you.
I just don't think we have a lot of time.
That's a neat trick.
That was very impressive.
Hi. We're Bell's Hells. We're like an adventuring party. Sometimes people hire us for jobs or pay us to do things, but we're trying to do good in the world. It's not something that you might understand, but it's what we've been doing lately.
Sounds vaguely familiar. She kind of glances down as you finish revealing the body of Laudna.
She might have looked a little different the first time you met her.
Was she there?
Oh.
You were there.
Well, come then. We need to speak with someone who can help you. The tree once again tears open with that loud, humming, but strangely warm sensation. And as it pulls open on the opposite side of this entryway, you see this beautiful open courtyard. You see numerous buildings across the way, along the streets. The roofs extended almost like reworked, long disused ships. You see trees and hills, and above that, on a hill, a castle, and the gentle falling of golden leaves that pass beyond the entryway. As you said, we haven't much time.
Come on, we have to go quick.
Yep.
Thanks for your office, Manaia.
Thank you for the tree, rain check.
I didn't... What's going on? It's the last thing you see. She turns around as you all rush through this gateway. And we're going to end the episode.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I wish Marisha could be here for this.
I got a little emotional.
As the doorway opens in the trunk of this tree, you look past into this neighborhood as you all step through, emerging from where you once were across Xandria to instead this city in the center of the Parchwood. As one by one you all emerge from the trunk, you immediately see the wreath of golden leaves, green turning to yellow above you. You can see the massive trunk behind you, this incredible example of a tree, larger than any that you've encountered in just general width and majesty. The hundreds of branches tangle upward where you can hear the dozens of birds that have made their homes up in its boughs above, the leaves occasionally falling and drifting past you. Beyond the rooftops of the center of this town, you can see the various tall pine trees that make up the Parchwood, peeking past, and beyond them, the Alabaster Stairs themselves, this massive, rocky mountain barrier that contains the northeastern and westward sides of this valley. And there beyond that, on a hill, or beyond the city itself, cresting just beyond where the edge of the city itself lies, you can see the towering shadow of the Castle Whitestone looming above. You hear the tree close behind you after she finishes stepping through. The tree closes. My apologies. Welcome to Whitestone. I don't know how many of you have been here before.
It's a weird sensation.
This is...
Is this the tree?
Yeah.
At about this point...
Loudness tree?
I think so. I mean, she said it was a giant one in the middle of town.
This is the one.
As you progress, kind of falling in line behind both Orym and the Voice of the Tempest, Fearne, her fresh cut grass, and Orym definitely, you notice that as she walks, the cloak that she wears, this mantle of beautiful shifting colors of leaves, it trails just gently across the ground behind her. It doesn't push through and leave a mark across the dirt and dust, but you see where she walks, there's almost like a 5 to 10 second period where grass seems to grow and kind of leave just the faint image of where she walks behind, this little touch of nature just kind of blooming in her wake.
I am on the verge of tears.
As they continue to walk in silence, awkward tension, Keyleth eventually kind of looks over her shoulder. So, what do you all do? You say you're adventurers.
Yeah, I mean, we all have different, come from different walks of life. I myself, I'm a master craftsman, Chetney Pockopy, C-Pop Industries. Fearne here is a bit of a, jack of all trades.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do lots of so many things.
I can sense the odd fey nature around you with but a glance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're very wonderful. I really like this piece.
Thanks. Anyway.
She's really good with animals and stuff, too.
Oh, me too, actually.
Oh, really?
Wow. Keeps walking a bit.
Hi.
I don't think I've ever met an automaton with so much personality.
Oh, I get that a lot. It's because I was created as an ancient killer 1,000 years ago, an assassin by a long gone land or civilization. But I forgot all that, and now I'm just trying to be helpful.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you've chosen a different path. Redemption is often a wonderful aspiration.
I agree. Are you a holy person at all, or?
Not in the classic sense, I guess. There are many holy people that do similar work, but I have a tangled relationship with the gods, you could say.
Oh. Are they trustworthy, or?
Some may be, but I tend to be more of a believer in, well, the world we call home.
How can you tell which ones to trust?
Sometimes you have to meet them.
You've met the gods?
A few. And she keeps walking.
Whoa.
To the right, as you begin to approach what looks to be one of the outer walls of the city, you can see a second courtyard to the right, like another, almost like a marketplace with its own kind of internal courtyard wall, and towering above it, 3 stories almost to the sky, you see this intricate clock tower. You see all of these incredible carvings that at a distance look like almost gargoyles or soldiers, but some of them shift slightly. You can hear the intricate gears, even though as muffled interior as they can. As you walk past, you can hear the just the whirring of clockwork.
That's not bad.
Keyleth kind of stops for a minute and looks at it and then keeps walking.
Oh, that's right. You might have known the man who brought us together, Bertrand Bell?
That fuck.
Indeed, I do, yes. If all this business goes well, I believe he's interred in the city if you'd like to visit his resting place.
Yeah, we sent him to the Lord and Lady of Whitestone.
Keyleth raises a hand and steps towards the front of the stairs and speaks. I, Voice of the Tempest, am here representing some friends who are requesting an audience with any members of the chamber that are present. One of the guards steps forward. This man, he has like kind of a shaggy blonde hair, looks about in his 40s or so. He's got kind of this leather hat on that looks like one side brim is kind of pinned up on one side. He's got a bit of a goatee, it's a little scraggly, kind of steps forward. Lady Keyleth, these are the wanderers that I've heard through the chain have stepped through the Sun Tree under your protection, and as the Ereshari, I assume. Keyleth nods. Of course, Captain. Well, Lady Cassandra is still meeting in Lyrengorn. I do believe the Lord is in.
The Lord is in, motherfuckers.
But regardless,
regardless,
Lady Keyleth, welcome. It is good to see you. She looks over. It is good to see you too, Captain Leor.
Aor or Baylor?
No, Leor.
Leor. How do you spell it?
Leore. The Lord is in his office, I believe. Come.
The Lord is in his office.
Orym, you notice you're being followed. Glancing about, you see a shadow out of the corner of your eye down behind you on the hall that just vanishes.
Size?
About your size.
Okay. I clock it.
Okay. The captain knocks. Lord de Rolo. Yes, Captain Kynan?
Kynan? Wait, Kynan? The captain is Kynan.
I have guests who wish to speak with you at the behest of Lady Keyleth, who is also here. At this point, he looks back, and Keyleth is actually fallen back in the hallway, and she's kind of like staring off for a second. My apologies. I have other business I have to attend to shortly, but I'll walk you into the Lord's chamber, and they should be able to take care of you from here.
It won't be you helping with
her?
I do not have the materials at my disposal to help with such an endeavor. Unfortunately, that fits more into the realm of divine, and the level of magics that could possibly do so require rare materials that are, at the moment, beyond my grasp. We are a month out from Apogee Solstice, which means many different forces are working towards goals, altruistic and nefarious.
We haven't even told you everything we found out.
You hear on the other side of the doorway. Very well, let them in. The captain kind of gives a nudge. Just a moment.
Everything about Odahan, everything about the solstice.
It's a lot.
Everything about the moon.
Just give her the abbreviated version. Maybe it'll ring a bell.
There's a city on the moon. There's a cage over the moon. There's forces in Marquette that are trying to, I don't know, break it free.
Arcane cage.
Yeah.
About right. There are writings that have been found in Vasselheim about the nature of the moon, if it is a moon. It's a lot.
And about people who were born under that moon. Maybe you were. I don't know. I don't really know you yet, but there's a possibility. Because people who are Ruidus born, sometimes they go... These people have been going after them.
And there's a fake creature called the Nightmare King that's working to do something to it.
And he's working with Odahan.
Yep.
And they seem to be targeting anyone who's looking into the moon and the ley lines.
And the Unseelie Court's all up in this shit.
And sometimes my parents are doing... That doesn't matter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, do it.
I know you sound like conspiracy theorists, but I swear all of it's true.
It's true.
I suppose I'll put that on the pile. Okay. Let me think on this.
Tempest, you got this.
I better.
One more question before you go. Just real quick. The Changebringer, is he trustworthy?
She
Oh.
is one of the good ones. At least one of the freer ones. And sometimes one of the fun ones.
Fun?
I've never met her.
Oh.
But I've known a few people that fall into her footsteps, and if you like where the wind can carry you, you may like the path that she leads. If faith is your thing.
Not yet.
Well, there is the Horizon Temple in the city, which falls under her domain if you'd like to talk to some of the clergy there, ask questions. My specialty, or my understanding of the details of many faiths is rudimentary compared to those who live and breathe it.
Thank you so much, and good luck with your rogue faction.
Thank you, and good luck with your not murdering people.
It's been, I think, 6 days since I've tried to murder.
That soon.
really
That
well.
soon. I thought that
really
was
well.
further back. This is a recent change.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
One day at a time.
one day at a time.
You're right. I should not judge. But the center of the stained glass is broken by a single column or a pillar of stone that kind of sits load-bearing across the opposite wall. In the center of that wall, elevated, to kind of break up the somewhat beautiful, cheerful color, you see hanging a single dark leather mask with two round lenses over the eyes and a long, curved, bird-like beak that just sort of sits and looms about 7 or so feet above on the wall, looking over the interior of the office.
Okay.
Standing beyond the desk, facing away from you, looking up at the mask, you see the back of a somewhat, we'll say, bedhead unkept kind of white hair. A dark blue and gray robe that, like a day coat that hangs past the back of the knees. The figure turns around and you can see the bespectacled face, the somewhat unshaven, kind of rough-looking beard of a person who's been busy and not really keeping to their more refined and well-kept exterior. The door closes behind you as you step in, and Keyleth kind of looks up. Lord Percival, I have to take my leave, unfortunately, but I just wanted to ensure that you were aware that these individuals, whatever they need, whatever they ask of you, it comes from the will of Zephyra as well. Percival kind of looks. And that will be taken under consideration. Of course. And she just turns and exits the room, and you hear her footsteps vanish into the distance.
Watches her go. When he turns around, he looks even taller. He looks 3'4" now.
She's wonderful. Pretty.
Well, welcome. I am Lord Percival Frederick Stein von Musil de Rolo III, architect of enlightened progress of the Chamber of Whitestone. Who are you and what do you need?
Lord de Rolo, we're the Bell's Hells. I wouldn't expect you to remember me from your visits to Zephyra, but it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again. My name is Orym of the Arashari. And these are my friends. And we're bringing a citizen of Whitestone home for aid.
Suddenly, Percival, as you say that, looks past you and goes, Darling, I told you not to do that. And behind you, you can glance and see slipping into the door what looks to be a young girl in a pale blue dress, deep red skin, and these horns that curl up from the middle of the head through dark hair, holding what looks to be a small doll in one arm. And goes, Sorry, Father. I was just curious who these strangers were with Keyleth. Kind of smiles for a second. Well, at the very least, I would wish that you have a seat in the corner and read a book or something. Maybe you'll learn something. Pay attention. You see him smile. This kind of hard, honestly intimidating exterior melting away for a moment with a bit of warmth.
I'm fairly certain that you know our fallen friend we've brought to you today. She hails from this village. You've encountered her before.
He was there as well.
Yes.
Should we just...
She,
I'm just gonna put her down.
The tree in the center of town?
And I'm gonna just start pulling the might as well just get to it.
Well, she had...
And, yeah. So I'm...
She was brought to a dinner by,
She's unwrapped.
by a woman named Delilah.
You see, like, the left eye twitch a bit at the mention of the name. He reaches up and pulls the glasses off his head for a second and just sets them on the desk. Yes?
Hung from that tree in the center of town.
As you kind of pull back and reveal the still cold body of Laudna, he just kind of looks forward and inspects her in silence. I'm truly sorry for your friend. I've lost much in my life, both family and ally, to the cruelty of others. And I appreciate you bringing her home to rest.
No. No. Not to rest. Her life was ended by a very evil woman, Odahan Thul.
An enemy of Zephyra. And all good folk.
We were told you had the ability, you had some connection, something that could bring her back.
He picks his glasses up and puts them on and kind of presses them to the center of his forehead.
Do you have divine magic?
I have little interest in the power of the divine, but it does occasionally serve its purpose. No, I do not have such an ability. What you ask is certainly no easy task. Death is a certainty of all mortal life, and such powerful magics are rare, costly, and sometimes push against the order of fate itself. Now, why should we undertake such a trial for your friend when so many others fall and are surrendered to dust? Respectfully.
I think Lord de Rolo, because Laudna is a bloom of goodness that has grown out of a history of darkness that deserves to be nourished and grow.
If every person came to me in this town who lost someone important to them and demanded they be brought back to life, not only would that destroy the order that we all fight so hard to maintain, but it would become an impossibility.
She's not any person.
She's special. She was chosen.
You say the word chosen, and he looks down at her and swallows hard. Indeed she was. Captain! The door opens. Yes, Lord Percival? I know it's early, wake her up if it is, but if you could please summon Pike Trickfoot to the castle.
Going there too, are we?
I need her to weigh on a matter of life and death. And if she's not home, she might be at the bakery. But yes, please, let her know it's at the behest and request of the Lord of the Tempest. Sorry, the voice of the Tempest. It's early.
Orym turns the rest. That's good. That's good.
If you say so.
You know, the thing about Laudna that's so interesting to me, and I'm an old one, I've seen some things, is that she has a very particular skill set in her form. And I can tell from someone that knows detail and how to incorporate them on a large scale. You know the importance of delegating work sets and certain constructs to a larger piece. That way you don't become too overwhelmed. You know, the thing about us, we're focused on one particular thing. And you and Plant Lady before, you guys seem like you have a lot on your plates. Sure would be nice if we could take a little bit off.
Looks over to Gwendolyn, who's in the hallway. Gwendolyn goes, Daddy, they were talking about the moon, and they were talking about all sorts of strange things and people. Yes. Crackpots. No. It helps to be a little crazy.
It's true.
Excuse me.
I actually, I read just as an example of what you could expect.
I pull out from behind my cloak and my harness. It's very small. It could fit in the palm of Chetney's hand. There's a minute.
You see a pair of half-elven teenagers wearing hunting gear start pushing in, and one of them goes, "You did not! I got 2 more than you! Shut up!" And kind of begins running up the steps as you see this kind of a young half-elf man with like short hair who's just kind of looks like he's a bit pissy and running up, in this kind of equal age woman with kind of big, like a big curly mat of brown hair and big glasses, kind of looking up at him and going, "Of course I got more than you. You're terrible at it. Every time we go out there." And as they both rush up, a third figure steps through. Another half-elven woman, looks about in her 30s or so, dressed in a comfortable light blue blouse, gray pants, knee-high leather boots, with a bow strung over her back. You can see her dark hair is pulled back, and there is a black feather behind her ear. Oh, well, at the very least, children, go ahead and get ready for your tutor. Be here in the next hour. I'm going to go ahead and tell Simon to go ahead and make 2 less desserts for dinner, please. Oh, Percy, darling, I did not realize we had company. Could you also have someone go look to the Southern Horizon Temple? It appears someone defaced one of the statues with eggs. She takes her bow off. So, not that I mean to pry, but who are you, and what pleasure do we have you here in our castle?
We're Bell's Hells. We were brought here by the Tempest. The voice of the Tempest.
I'm one of the...
Keyleth here.
She was. Just missed her. She's
Shit.
she's off. She said she was off to Asilra or something.
That sounds about right. She's all over the place.
My name is Orym of the Arashari. You knew my father, in-law, Derek.
Indeed, I did know Derek.
We all met in Marquette.
He was at our wedding, darling. Right, yes, he was. Sorry, there's a lot of people were there, and a lot was going on.
Must have been quite a ceremony.
They both together say, "You have no idea," in unison. Well, regardless, Bell's Hells, a pleasure to meet you. I am Lady Vex'ahlia de Rolo, Baroness of the First House of Whitestone, and great mistress of the Greyhound.
So many nobles.
Grand Mistress, technically. And I was like, no, I said it wrong. Grand Mistress.
Grand Mistress.
Maybe it's a new title.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's
a lot of words. It's understandable. Oh, I wrote you a letter. When we sent Bertrand's body.
Oh, yeah.
So you were the ones who sent Bertrand. You're friends of Bertrand's.
Bell's Hills,
That's
after
why
all.
Bell, that Bell's
The
Hills.
Bell and Bell's Hills
Goodness me.
was.
Well,
Why are you so tense, darling? They're friends. I know they're friends. They've just come with quite a request. Oh. Well, I'm certain we could do our best.
Thank you.
And thank you for returning Bertrand to us. He was unique. But
Yes, he was.
stout of heart and a very well-meaning gentleman,
We miss him very much.
as do we.
And we're hoping not to lose another. We were just explaining to Lord de Rolo, lady, we've brought home a daughter of Whitestone. One of yours. A very special one of yours.
We need returned.
Yeah, she's not being brought back to rest.
No.
Well, now I think I understand exactly what the ask is. That is an ask. Have you Yes, I've reached out to Pike. Well, good. Hopefully she can sort this out. I'm going to go get changed. I'm a sweaty mess, and I feel awful that this was our first meeting, given... It's been a pleasure. You better be getting ready, and she heads up the stairs after the two younger half-elves.
Orym tugs on Imogen's sleeve and looks up at her and says, "You can see the resemblance."
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Between who and what?
She was the woman that Laudna was. She's very beautiful.
Her fate is beyond me. You'll have to speak with her. And he looks out, and you can see kind of like jogging up the pathway that leads to the castle. A couple guards trying to keep up. You see a short gnomish woman of white hair that's kind of pulled back into a messy bun that's kind of falling apart as she runs, and bits of it are kind of tangled behind, wearing this like bright yellow sun blouse that kind of drifts into a white apron. And she's a little chubby around the face and these kind of meaty arms as she kind of charges up quickly. And she yells, "Percy! Percy!" And you see the Lord kind of, "Yes, Pike?" "What do you need?"
No decorum.
He kind of just runs in. The guards kind of step out of the way. Looks up. "It's early. You don't normally call me to the castle. I'm a little confused." "Hi.
Hi.
Oh, greetings.
I'm Pike."
Fresh cut grass.
Ashton.
Hi, I'm Imogen Temold. It's a pleasure to meet you.
"Oh.
Hi, Miss Trickfoot. My name is Orym.
It's really formal." "Pike, yes, I'm sorry to pull you away from your morning goods, but these individuals have come at the behest of Lady Keyleth. They seek the restoration of a fallen friend." She was, "Oh, okay.
So casual.
It's been a little bit. Well, you all seem to be standing okay. Are they here?
Yes.
She's the dead one over there.
Here, now, again, is this what...
Right
Where
on
would
the
you like to
steps.
see her?
Is it all right,
Is
Mr.
there a-
de Rolo? Can we just like plop her down on
No,
the
is
chair
there,
or something? Or
Here is fine.
Oh,
nice fabric and stuff.
As you begin unwrapping, Pike, you see like pulls from the blouse a chain that dangles, and there at the base of it, you see what looks to be a golden symbol that resembles these like flaming angelic wings.
What's that?
Oh, this is just a symbol of my.
Steal it.
That was my first No.
Well, I have a friend who's also a god, and this is what I used to talk to her.
How many people know gods in this town? Have you talked to gods too?
Well, I mean, anyone can talk to a god. You just have to go and pray at a temple.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't sound as exciting.
Lady Keyleth made
But
it
I have
sound
actually
like...
talked to her.
What?
So that-
Oh,
anyway.
She was... were you at the... She died in the tree, and then she was brought back.
Lord Percival goes, she was on the sun tree, Pike. Oh. And you hear a voice from the stairs above. Oh. You see, just having stepped down the spiral staircase to the left where she had previously vanished, Lady Vex'ahlia, kind of frozen, looking down. Percy, was this...
It was you. She was you.
She quickly steps down the staircase next to Pike and kind of leans down. Looks back up at Percy. We have to help them. We did this to her.
You did?
Well, we're the reason she was on that tree to begin with. A moment passes in silence. Another moment, and you can hear the ever so faint sound of... Is it an incantation? Is it a prayer? You're uncertain. She speaks an incantation. The ground and the sigil around Laudna immediately lights up in this bright, vibrant golden hue. The entire chamber now is just alight with sparkles and energies. A gentle wind out of nowhere begins to whip around, and you feel your hair tossing around, those whose hair can move. You see as Lord de Rolo kind of takes a step back and takes a deep breath. Vex'ahlia kind of comes up to his side and holds his arm. And Pike now closes her eyes once more, clutches her holy symbol, and now muttering under her breath, opens her eyes once more, and where you once saw pupils, you now see a bright golden light to match the color of the sigils, just beaming from her face. She begins to speak, she begins to mutter, and you can see she reaches out and places her other hand on the chest of Laudna's cold body. As she does, you see the body begin to shift and lift, drawn from the chest, the arms and legs kind of limp and being left by gravity to sag as the torso begins to be carried up off the ground, where Pike's hand almost lifts her. I can feel her soul. It's adrift. Not yet beyond our reach. That's good, that's good. What is... There's something else here. There's something... I'm trying to reach for her, but it's holding her back. I can't...
Is it Delilah?
Percy? And she pulls her hand back, and all the light vanishes. Laudna hits the ground, and you watch as Pike kind of like sits back a bit, her hand still out in front. Percy? There's two souls bound to this body, and I can't separate them. Not like this. Percy steps forward. Two souls? Yeah. And one of them is Delilah Briarwood. We're gonna go to break. It's an early break!
Oh my God! Oh, we just gotta see this! I don't want to do this!
As these words leave Pike's lips, Lord Percival clicks his cane onto the ground. Then it is done. She is to remain gone.
No.
What do you mean?
That's not how this works.
That's exactly how this works. Do you have any idea, any possible notion of what creature you would possibly be unleashing?
No.
Then you are one of the lucky few.
Well, haven't you ever lost someone that you've cared about before?
I've lost nearly everyone I've cared about.
So then you know how it feels.
Yes, and they're all still gone. Most of them, at least.
What do you mean their souls are bound?
Pike goes, it feels, it's odd. They're both connected to each other in a way, and to the body. When you call a spirit back to the body, you have to reach out to the spirit and be like, hey, come back. And then it's like, okay, or no, I'm good. And I can't even talk to your friend because Delilah's there.
Can you talk to Delilah?
I'm not gonna talk to Delilah. Are you kidding me? We're done with her. We're well. And Vex at this point goes, Percy, look, we have to try something. There has to be a way we can do something, right?
Can you get another body? Put another body next to Laudna and make Delilah go into one.
Is that something? Peg goes, that's not how this works. That's not something I can do. Like it's a.
Can we sever the two? Or if they're tethered together, is there a way to like go in there and cut them apart?
You said you're friends with the gods. There's got to be something you can do.
If I finish the ritual, I don't know which one of them's gonna come back. At which point Percival goes, there is no way we are bringing Delilah back into this world.
Respectfully, Lord de Rolo, as far as what I know, wasn't your soul held by another?
Yes.
What did your friends do?
Make a persuasion check. With advantage.
Terrible.
Oh.
Fucking garbage.
Stop rolling those dice. It's the moon dice. The moon dice are cursing us right now.
Look, I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I'm certain she was a wonderful woman. We've all lost wonderful people. But whatever joy or smile she would bring back would be far outweighed by the death, the destruction, the torture, and upheaval that Delilah would bring should she return. I will not stand here and allow this. I will not, in my home, in my city, bring Delilah back, and that is final.
She's been back. She's been back this whole time.
He starts walking away.
What if we could end her for good?
Then do so without my aid. And he continues to walk away.
Please, Pike, there's got to be some way we can...
I mean, I don't... Let me think. There... She looks up the facts. There might be some scriptures and practices of the Everlight that there are rites that revolve around possession, spiritual tethering, exorcism. It's not my specialty. I don't know. I could go look. Vex goes, she could. Darling, please. At least let them try something. Anything. She looks down and kind of like cradles Laudna's head in her hand and looks at her and kind of runs her finger along the ear cuff that forms the pointed elven ear. I mean, we both have some fault in this, don't we? Lord de Rolo stops his exit. Doesn't look back, just clutching the top of his cane. Then tell me if you find a way that is satisfactory, but do nothing without my approval. Delilah stays gone.
I'm going to follow Percy.
Oh.
You follow Percy? Okay.
I don't know how that was my advice, but okay.
Said be myself.
Okay.
You,
Sweet.
You begin to follow. You go following. Who's now he's now a good 20 feet down the hallway, heading back to the staircase that you recall leading up to where his office was.
I'm not satisfied with the ending of that conversation yet.
The issue with life is sometimes you have to deal with unsatisfactory ends.
Do I look like the sort of person who doesn't know that?
You look young. You've time to learn.
You have no fucking idea. I just want to say a piece. Maybe make an offer. I don't like to lose.
Well, I would recommend getting used to the idea.
Oh, I have. Let me fucking tell you, and I'm just gonna keep walking up.
Okay, as you walk up, his hand goes to the side of his coat.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes, sir.
I have lost fucking everything. Everybody. I have had a lifetime of bad hits, problems, lost people, promises fucking broken, people died. It is the background of my daily life. I have died. This is madness up here. This is not something that just fucking happens. This is what happens when the universe really doesn't like you and decides it wants to keep you around for a little while longer. Or at least that's what I used to fucking think. And then I met these fucking people. And life changed in a very intense way. And I know you think I'm just gonna be like, I found love again, any of that bullshit. Fuck no. The world got weird, and there is weird shit happening out there, and suddenly I'm feeling very small in a very big world, as opposed to very small in a very small world, which is where I'm usually so fucking comfortable. But it got really big out there, and for some strange fucking reason, that body down there, as fucked and as corrupted as it may be, and it is, believe me, seems to be a part of this. So hope and joy and love and all of that shit, I don't give a fuck. That is not what I'm down there for. I'm down there for because it's important, and it's necessary, and I have lost so many people. And I am not here begging for fucking any of them. Many I've known longer than her. And this is not about that. This is important. Clearly someone you don't fucking like thought it was fucking important, so maybe you should just pay the fuck attention.
Have you said your piece?
Yeah, unless you want to see something I have to offer. That's pretty much, I think that might be the end of it.
Good. I'm sorry you've seen such hardship. The world is vast. The threads of fate tug in ways you do not understand sometimes. Don't lose that anger. But the urge to destroy can be a very powerful one. My advice to you is one a few years your senior is see where you can refocus it to instead build. Create. And then protect it with every fiber of your being. Nothing else matters more. My children will now grow up in a world where that woman exists. I'm not sunsetting the possibility here. But there must be a certainty. Because if you all bring her back into this world, and Delilah walks once more, I will send you all to the same place I will send her. To protect my family. To protect my city. So, you're a small fish in a big, big pond. Make some waves.
Turn around. Enjoy your fucking castle.
There's nothing you could offer I would want.
Got a fine punch.
You give it a fine punch?
I'll give it a fine punch.
Fine.
Roll a strength check.
This is what happens when barbarians get bored.
That's not a d20. That's not eyesight. No, nothing.
What'd you get?
1.
Oh, no way. Crack! It impacts, and this is a denser stone than you expected, and right as you pull your fist back, you hear like the snap of a knuckle and that like immediate warm pain fill your fist. And right at that moment you also hear
Whoa.
You glance over to your right, and kind of right off to the side, what you didn't notice was a small furred creature that looks grayed in a lot of its fur. You see light bits of armor across its back, and what looks to be 2 other adult brown bears. These are bears, kind of curled up and waking to the side. The older one kind of going.
Oh, hey.
And just collapses back down into a nap. The other bear's kind of paying attention to you.
How far are they?
It's a good thing he's got arthritis.
About 25, 30 feet from you.
I'm gonna slowly walk up.
He's a picture.
You walk up to the bears?
Yeah, slowly. I'm not gonna try and start shit.
Okay.
I'm done.
The larger one is still resting. The other 2 large ones kind of start moving into a defensive position.
Hey. I don't kneel down. Must be nice having people just do what you need them to by growling at them and having them not expect you to have to explain yourself. I'm jealous. He's an asshole. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine for you, but should you do me a favor? Just, if you're ever feeling it, shit somewhere inappropriate and think of me. You're a nice bear. I get up.
Thank you, Lady de Rolo, for helping us in this. I know that your husband wasn't quite so enthusiastic.
He's a complicated man. And you're here on the behest of Keyleth, which carries a lot of weight in this city. And I apologize for his brusqueness. There is a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma that we've all suffered at the hands of Delilah.
She's an evil woman. Laudna always complained about her in her head and stuff.
Whatever happens, whatever occurs here, and I hope for the better outcome, I really do. Nothing's worse than losing someone very close to you.
We understand the history, and I understand Lord de Rolo's hesitation. We're not asking for something for nothing. If there's blood that has to be paid or sweat shed, we'll pay it.
We'll do anything.
We can discuss once this is over. For now, let's just see how we can handle the task ahead of us. And she just can't take her eyes off Laudna. Like there is a strong focus, and you can see this kind of like weight on Lady Vex'ahlia as she looks at her. So there are some rituals. There's an older one that kind of enables a spirit journey to another realm. I've not done this before. It's older, it's extremely powerful. So we're all kind of winging it. I think I can direct it to wherever I felt Delilah holding your friend. But I need you all to go there as part of this spell and separate them long enough for me to bring her back.
Got it. Let's do it.
And where is there?
I don't know.
You said another realm?
Spirit realm?
Well, here's the thing. When you, classically, when you try and bring somebody back to life, part of the spell itself, the person who's performing the ritual, you are reaching out to their soul, wherever it is passed beyond or is in transition to passing to whatever realm of the gods has claimed it based on their morality and choices and disposition in life. When I touched your friend, it went to a different place. Like a cold, separate place that I've never really felt before. And it all feels very strongly like Delilah.
Would you be able to tell if he has a soul or a spirit or anything like that, or?
I mean, yeah. Want me to check?
You can just check?
It's kind of my specialty. Was my specialty. I guess it kind of is.
As a baker?
Yes.
Bakery sounds amazing.
I know, we gotta go to the bakery.
FCG, this is a big deal.
It is. But I don't want to distract from the task at hand.
It's okay. She probably just requires your meat tongue for a component.
Yep, that makes sense.
Open your mouth. There you go.
Finally, it's gone.
Forever.
Finally, it's the end.
It's growing back.
I hate this so much.
Miss Trickfoot,
Will you
sorry.
hold my hand?
I will absolutely hold your hand if you need.
Man, I'm gonna try. I'm just a baker.
She's more than a baker, guys.
She comes and steps up to you and kind of looks up at your, you're kind of in that middle height area. She's a little bit shorter than you and looks up, kind of looks you over, smiles and kind of like touches the side of your metal head. The other hand touches her symbol. She closes her eyes and you feel this like wave of something come over you, and you feel like you're about to tumble, like your sense of upright gravity begins to shift. And as that happens, you kind of instinctually kind of close your ocular presence, and then suddenly there is just light burning around you. There is this inferno of silver white light that is just blurring everything in the space around you, shifting and moving. And you look around, and there in front of you, you see the same kind of shape as Pike, but she is herself a burning silver ember of light. You see just the flames rising off of her, and this like set of fiery wings that just kind of drift in place. Where her eyes are is just this glowing cavalcade of color and white light. And you see the symbol still there resting in the middle of her chest as she clutches it. And she looks and leans into you. Can you see me?
Is that you? The same?
Yeah.
I can see you.
And you see you.
I'll look down at my hands.
You look down and you see your arms, the shape of them, but it's just kind of like this unique, strange, semi-translucent light, like this, not as bright as hers necessarily, but present, this kind of fuzzy sparkle. As you kind of turn your hands over in front of you, you can see them like shifting and moving, almost like electrical pulses, but not electricity, not arcane. It's hard to explain. You just feel warm.
What does it mean?
It means you're alive. And from the look of it, you already have eyes on you. And she points down to your chest, and you see the coin sitting in the space of your chest with the face of the Changebringer on it. You're brought back into the room. Her hand is still on your face. See, you're fine. Ting, ting.
Whoa!
What happened? What happened?
That was crazy. I went to another place where I could see our spirit.
She gave you drugs?
Yes.
Wow. So it's true. He has a spirit.
Yeah.
5 gold. Can't win them all.
Thank you. It's actually 13 gold across two. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just because of the coin or something.
No, FCG, it's because of you.
I don't.
Counts as a +1 short sword.
I don't know you. I don't know really what's going on, but I feel like I just have to tell you he's having a day he is never going to forget right now. His mind is entirely blown. You have no idea. I have no idea.
Well,
This is...
to be perfectly honest, I'm not to brag, but I'm used to blowing minds. I'm so happy I could
I love a brag.
continue the trend.
All right.
With everyone in place, she grasps her holy symbol and begins to mutter, begins to pray. With that, these little symbols, these little almost crescent moon or scythe-like curves in some of these sigils begin to glow, and it leads into the next, into the next. Her prayer stops and she goes, "All right, hold on." And as you're looking at the pattern on the ceiling, you watch it just rocket away from you as shadow just fills your periphery. You instinctively try and move your head, but you can't. You're just kind of locked in place, like a sleep paralysis is taking your body. You just watch the roof get further and further and further away and further away.
Stop it.
And then it's gone, and there's just shadow around you, but you still feel wind. You feel... And the wind begins to shift and echo and almost play in reverse at times. Around you, as it begins to separate, revealing this cracked stone floor. Your feet touch it. And at that moment, you watch as the rest of your friends all touch down around you. The circle of the 6, all standing in this space, all built of the same silver gold material. And all of you, above your head, like a puppet held by a single thread, a gossamer cord that lifts about a foot off of your head before it just sort of vanishes into the ether. The fog begins to roll away even further than that radius and seems to almost reveal more of the forest around you. Dozens and dozens of trees surround you. And you see a faint bit of color. A distant, gentle orange glimmer. A flicker. A flame. You can see a shape rising up from the middle of the trees. It's a structure. It's like a small cabin or a larger hut. It is a built structure here in the middle of the woods, and that flicker you see is through a window.
What the fuck? Whisper that to the group. What the fuck? I don't like it anymore.
You carefully begin to step through the foul forest that surrounds you, heading towards this structure. As you do, you hear the whispers getting louder. Hit her! She's here! Where? Gather him up! Burn it down! The witch is here!
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
As you step closer and closer, you see this is... The stone rises up to mimic what looks to be, indeed, a small cabin. It seems like it's pulled together with ropes and thin branches and bits of fallen trees and bark and whatever sort of materials are around it. It is a ramshackle shack here in the middle of these woods. And you can see under the porch, this kind of makeshift entryway area dangling there, little trinkets and look to be bones and tools And that window, there's that little kind of warm light flickering within. There is a small table and a stool. And there on the table, you see a few tools, also made of the stone. Looks like a pair of scissors or like a little knife. You see what looks to be the body of a rat. And you see kind of on the stool, this kind of shadow shape, this almost like a black flame that's kind of barely holding there, kind of flickering in and out of existence. That you look for a moment, it almost has a humanoid shape to it. You don't feel like she's there, but you almost make out the shape of Laudna sitting in this shack, making something on the table. And in the same moment, you see deep within this dark, flickering black flame that is this Laudna-like shape that's kind of whipping in and out of your vision. You see this small purple light that just kind of sits in the chest. The whispers get louder. There she is! Kill the witch! Burn her! Burn her down! And you see the flickering black flame kind of and vanish. At this moment, Orym, you watch, drifting out of the shaded spaces between the trees. God, your passive perception is stupid. 3 black, billowing collections of dark matter or cloth kind of emerge and drift a few feet above the ground and begin to head towards the
shouting
cabin.
doesn't do shit, so I tug on your sleeve immediately and say, we're in trouble, alert the others.
I will try to send out messages to everyone in their heads.
Okay. In those rapid moments as you're sending out message to everyone to kind of bring yourselves together, look, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh! Is there anything that immediately screams like personal possession of Laudna's?
Looking at the table, you see what looks to be the dead rat, and you see what looks to be like a small bird-like skull amongst other bones on the table.
I scoop them all up.
Okay.
I put them in a satchel and I head out.
Okay.
All right, I've never tried this before. I'm gonna get up a little close, spit in my hand, rub it together, and cast Tidal Wave.
Oh! What?
Wow, that should do it.
That's a big one.
There we go.
Big spell.
As you pull back, slam your hand down. Describe how you summon the tidal wave in this space. How do you call forth the elements, and what does it look like?
Okay. Well, I spit in my hand. I just kind of rub it together, and even though it's water, it still looks a bit like fire. Still a little red.
A little water fire?
Water fire, you know, you've seen these before.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a blue flame instead.
That's cool.
Fire water.
And it just a little bit shoots out of my hand, but then when you see it sort of go up.
Immediately, you watch as this tiny spark of kind of blue roiling flame just swoops down, and this incredible, this crashing wave of surf out of nowhere hits the ground and washes up over this entire hut. The burning flames immediately are put out across the board. Kind of looking around the space here as you all kind of inspect, you find one section of the floor that looks like pretty rotted and crumbly. And you kind of like pry it open a bit, and you can look beneath, and you can see just tangled roots that dig deep beneath the house.
I'm gonna push my upper half down in, and it seems ridiculous, but see if there's anything down there, and reach my hands around in it.
Reach your hands down around in it?
Yeah.
Okay. You reach down and kind of glance within, and the roots lead to a tunnel.
Oh no.
Yeah, ignore it.
Probably nothing.
Let's turn this down.
Found something.
Set it back on fire.
I choose not to wait. We're chasing down Delilah, who has Laudna, and who knows how far away she can get in the amount of time we wait, an hour.
Also, Pike Trickfoot is back there maintaining this spell. She might have appointments that she needs to get to this afternoon.
buns that need to come out the oven.
Yeah.
Moving deeper and deeper down this tunnel. You're the first to pick it up, because you're at the front, Chetney, and you have a sensitive nose. It's less a scent, more than the feeling of wind beginning to pick up once more, the stillness of the depth of these tunnels beginning to shift. Like a breeze is now moving through where once there was stillness. You continue to climb, and climb, and climb. And the darkness begins to give way to a faint bit of gentle, ever so gentle green light. You're going down, but as you step out, you see sky facing you.
Weird. Blue sky?
Like a purplish, faintly obscured starscape almost. Like a night sky with little wisps of purple nebulous cloud in the distance. Like you're staring down into a cosmic shadow. And on the sides, beyond it, you can see what looks like more trees. Or roots? It's hard to tell, all kind of pushing downward. As you step forward, the gravity seems to shift now, where all of a sudden you're emerging from the floor of what looks to be another forest-like realm around you. You see some more of these trees, and then beyond them, maybe about 30 feet from where this tunnel is, a wall, partially crumbled. Beyond that wall, you can see what looks to be the rooftops. And then not far beyond them, a massive, leafless tree of hundreds and hundreds of bare branches looming over this shaded city with a faint bit of green light just drifting out like a mist, filling the city and lighting it from underneath. And that's where we're in tonight's episode.
You rat bastard.
No!
Shadow of Whitestone.